Gist to Champions League drama, from Niger football madness to global sport cruise, we bring the vibes, the analysis, and pure football fire.
On your marks, get set,
go! Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the...
And premium banter with your favorite crew on deck every week. Sport Cruise, where sports meets vibe.
That is a princely strike from John Duran. Open mouth.
Hello, my name is Godwin Enoch and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
I know what my instinct is telling me. Then they wonder I'm moving differently. Original talent no be piracy. If I keep quiet, they me hear me. Ojuri kele demi to dele, kisuru mi to lere. I'll keep going on Saturday. Are you there? Are you there? Aluwe, ewa wo, kotolo. Are you there? Are you there? Aluwe. Ara, to pade mi lono. Ara, to pade mi lono. Can I rest on your shoulder? Can I call you my brother? Can I tell you my brother? Surely shape your joke for me. Can I rest on your shoulder? Can I call you my brother? Can I tell you my brother? Surely shape your joke for me. Many talents I've been needing. Mopa and Femi go worry me. They say they see me for their TV. Yes, I said it and I did it.
Are you there? Would you be there? Where exactly will you be? It's 18 days from now, 21st of December to the 18th of January 2026. It's going to be the 35th edition of the African Cup of Nations, organized by Confederation of African Football, CAF. Of course, it's an opportunity for Africa to showcase its greatness, an opportunity for Africa to sell the unique culture of football, the support, the fans, the quality of the finish, the quality of the superstars. It is an avenue for Africa to tell the world, listen, watch what we do and appreciate the content of what we produce for the entire world. Of course, for some clubs, it's going to be a moment of readjustment, as a few of them would have to lose some of their best players to the African Cup of Nations. Clubs like Manchester United, clubs like Liverpool, clubs like Sunderland, like Tottenham Hotspur. All of these clubs in English football across board, from Germany to Spain. In fact, I pity the French sides because the bulk of African players are quite, plying that trade, especially from the French-speaking African countries. A lot of them are in, in the French League One, and majority of them will have to represent their countries, like Mali, like Senegal, like DR Congo, like Ivory Coast, and it's going to be an opportunity for Africa to showcase our special talent to the entire world. We're excited. 18 days to the countdown began 2 days ago on your Super Mainland 98.3 FM. We give you everything you need to know. On Monday, I ran through all of the details you need to know about AFCON, the fixtures for the match day one, the stadiums that would host all of the competitions, the size of the stadium, the dates for the round of 16, the quarterfinal, the semi-final, the third place, and the final. All of those breakdown I gave you on the show on Monday. So we'll continue to build the narrative. Maybe tomorrow we'll look at past winners, and of course, how many countries have won more than 5, how many countries have won more than 4, how many countries have won more than 3, how many countries have won more than 2, how many countries have won only 1, and how many countries have never tasted AFCON glory before. All of those would be the package that Mainland 98.3 FM Sport Desk would offer you all through, especially as the tournament begins on the 21st of December all the way down to the 18th of January 2026. And of course, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will play their first game on the 23rd of December against Tanzania. Well, yesterday, the Super Eagles manager released a 54-man list And I'm wondering, are countries like Ghana, okay, sorry, Ghana didn't go to AFCON. Hey, my friend, if you are listening right now, sorry for that. I just had to quickly drop that banter. Countries like South Africa, like Cameroon, like Egypt, like Tunisia, like, all of these countries have released their final squad, but the Super Eagles of Nigeria are still in the business of trading, in the business of PR, in the business of lobbying, are still holding on to whatever it is they're holding on to. 54-man list was released by the manager of the side, Eric Chills, and guess what? Ahmed Musa, it looks like the time is gone for Nigeria's highest goal scorer at the World Cup, as he was excluded from that list of 54 players that would fight it out for the Super Eagles list that will be submitted to CAF. Okay, so much talk about on the show today. The English Premier League games tonight. We also get winter break for Spain, and of course they defeated Atletico Madrid yesterday. We'll talk about all of those fixtures tonight on the show. We'll also give you games expected to have this week, tomorrow and today as well. Well, for countries that really know what they are doing, the Lioness, that's the women national team of England, played a 2-0 victory over the Black Queens of Ghana yesterday. So teams that are really serious, teams that understand the business of football, are doing the normal thing. For the Super Falcons, they would also be preparing for the next Women African Cup of Nations. They will attempt to make it able to secure any friendly match for the Super Falcons. A lot of their leading players have raised objection with the post on the social media that they have a weak calendar that they could have played top friendly matches, but just look at Ghana playing the Lioness of England, the European champions, defending champions, back-to-back winner of the Euros, playing that friendly match 2-0, even though they lost, but of course it's a big deal for them. But maybe we're just comfortable with the fact that it's the Super Falcons now. They would always go on to make it 11 win for themselves. We'll talk about all of those on the show today as well. Welcome to Sports Cruise. I know it's drive time. You're finding your way down to your homes. You're stuck in traffic. I got you covered with some good music as well. We started out with Are You There? From one of Nigeria's fast rising superstars, Your Mouth. And of course, I just asked you that question. Would you be there in Morocco for the African Cup of Nations? And of course, the draws for the FIFA World Cup will be made soon. And FIFA had announced a star-studded entertainment lineup for the final draw. But guess what? For the second time in 4 years, Super Eagles of Nigeria will not be on the ballot. Go in 2026. We'll be right back. Bite your lip.
Or by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
Are you planning to hop on a plane to visit family or friends anytime soon? Maybe you're heading to a celebration or meeting a new member of the family. It's always such a special time to reunite with loved ones. But what can make the whole experience even more special is when the journey is memorable too. That's when Emirates come in. I'm guessing you want to arrive refreshed and ready to share stories and catch up on lost time. So all you'll need to do is simply sit back and relax in total comfort on the way. You'll be spoiled for choice when it comes to entertainment with up to 6,500 channels. If you miss the latest Hollywood release, catch it on board with some of the biggest screens in the skies. It will feel just like you are at the movies. Or enjoy some uninterrupted time to binge your favorite comedy series. You can even scroll through your socials and make plans for when you arrive. Perhaps your team is playing while you're on air. Don't worry, it will probably be live on ice. And if you're traveling with the little ones, they definitely will not be bored on board. They get their own dedicated TV and movie channels. Over 250 of them, and they will enjoy the take-home toys and goodies to feed their imagination. That's not all. They can even enjoy their own special meals, perfectly designed for little taste buds. And while they tuck into their tasty meals, you will be dining on multiple courses of regionally inspired gourmet cuisines, all served with free-flowing drinks. I won't tell anyone if you want to start on dessert first. And if you're planning to pack in some thoughtful gifts to pass on when you arrive, the generous Emirates baggage allowance makes that a breeze. You get so much more in Emirates economy. You can fly Emirates from Lagos to to over 150 destinations, including Dubai, India, the UK, and the US. Head over to Emirates.com to book now and start your amazing journey.
Hey guys, there is something special coming for you. Are you an artist? Do you think you have the talent to be a superstar? If yes, send your song properly labeled with your name to info@mainlandfm.com. The first 20 songs would have an opportunity to go through a vote process, and after the vote process, the winner gets a free interview and 1 month airplay on our station. There is also something special. You would have a day to spend with your favorite celebrity. So it's simple. Send your song to our email info@mainlandfm.com. Go on your social media, make a post telling your fans to vote for you. Tag Mainland FM on Instagram and TikTok, and the more engagement your post garner, the higher your chances of winning. Music submission ends on the 12th of December. Voting ends on the 17th, and selection of winners on the 22nd of December. Participate and become Nigeria's next superstar. More information on the competition will be live on the buzz at 3 p.m. Monday through Wednesdays.
Whether you're flying for a family celebration or a much-needed reunion, fly Emirates and start your holiday on board. Explore up to 6,500 channels of entertainment, including live sport. Stay connected with onboard Wi-Fi. Enjoy special meals and toys for kids, and relax in comfort with world-class service all the way. Choose from over 150 destinations, including Dubai, India, the UK, and USA. Book now at Emirates.com. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Win big for the Lapo Express Savings Promo Season 4.
Yes, so save only 30,000 naira every month from November 1, 2025, go reach January 31, 2026. Use the Lapo debit card at least 5 times for 3 months back to back.
Then can't leave at least 90,000 naira balance for your account till January 31, 2026. Make you for qualify to win the star prize of 3 million naira for the raffle and 100,000 naira each for 20 lucky winners.
Hurry now, because the first 500 new accounts may open go get 1 Lapo debit card free. For this one's deal. Lapo Microfinance Bank, they improve life.
Introducing Clean Pink Detergent, Nigeria's first pink detergent innovation, specially formulated to make your clothes look and smell amazing. It's with 2 times perfume, so every wash releases a burst of long-lasting fragrance. It's soft on clothes with color guard that leaves your colored clothes vibrant and bright. Clean Pink delivers great cleaning while treating your fabrics to a touch of luxury. Feel the pink with Clean, the #1 pink detergent.
Now is a good time for Weather for Two. You are probably thinking about you and you know who. But what if Weather for Two meant something even better for you? What if it meant getting the perfect pair, data and airtime? The amazing collabo for you? Stay connected like never before with the Glow Collabo Bundle. Get amazing data and talk time in one powerful package. For just 1,000 naira, enjoy 20 minutes of talk time and 1.25 gigabytes of data. With 2,000 naira, get 40 minutes of talk time and 3 gigabytes of data. Or go big with 5,000 naira for 100 minutes of talk time and a massive 12.5 gigabytes of data. To activate, simply dial *312# or use the Glow Cafe app. Terms and conditions apply.
I had a rumor that you were searching for the station to give you joy, laughter, and happiness. I had a rumor that the station you're searching for is right here. I mean, here. 98.3 Mainland FM, the sound of Lagos.
Today I've been in bets. Oh, yes! He done it! That's astonishing. It's absolutely world class.
This is not your regular sports show. This is Sport Cruise, only on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. From hot transfer gist to Champions League drama, from Niger football madness to global sport cruise, we bring the vibes, the analysis, and pure football fire.
On your marks, get set.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
No long talk. This is where sports meets swagger. No boring breakdowns, just pure energy, passion, and premium banter with your favorite crew on deck every week. Sport Cruise, where sports meets vibe.
That is a princely strike from John Duran. Open mouth
Pick up your chest, I swear. If you don't get money, they kill like that. When I face my fears, there's nothing I can do from here. For more in the first date, I make mistakes, I swear. For knowledge, I sacrifice my fears. And I stand right here. I say I'm better and you can't compare. Yeah. Cause when I get them, but do it, but they're mine. You know they can't see me outside. And me, I dare walk, I dare cry. And when I get down, but do it, but they're mine. You know they can't see me outside. Cause me, I dare walk, I dare cry. When I get down, but do it, but they're mine. You know they can't see me outside. Cause me, I dare walk, I dare cry. When I get down, but do it, but they're mine. You know they can't see me outside. Cause me, I dare walk, I dare cry. Oh, say, me, I see that look from my cheddar. I know say nobody hold you better. But if me and you get issues, I forgive you and I don't resent you. I still got love for you. I know say nobody hold you better. And me, I see that look from my cheddar. But if me and you get issues, I forgive you and I don't resent you. And it's simply the truth. Truth, I no lie to you. And if you like, if you dance it too.
Of course, welcome back to Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM outside by Buju Benson. Ladies and gentlemen, where would you be in December? It's December already, but what I mean is this: from the watching the African Cup of Nations, or you would certainly be stuck on your regular club football. You know, I will always run it for to, but I would advise you actually that you keep your dial locked on Mainland 98.3 FM for all of this period, as would give you the freshest and the 35th edition of the African Cup of Nations. Of course, this time around involving the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So even though we're not going to do all of that for the Super Eagles of Nigeria at the next World Cup, but let's savor the moment of African football from the Sahel down to the Southwest, everywhere, all the way down to Egypt, to Mali, to Ivory Coast, to DR Congo, to Nigeria, to South Africa, to Zimbabwe. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, there's something to present to you, which is called African football. But in the midst of all of these, you could always expect that every time AFCON arrives, there's always that back before they can choose to release their players. Well, remember the last African Cup of Nations, the number one choice goalkeeper of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, talking about Andre Onana. Well, it was dropped actually for this edition, but he came into camp a day before Morocco's first match at the African Cup of Nations because he decided not to leave Manchester United on time. And when he came in, he was angry that the manager, then Rigobert Song, did not use him for the first match, and the second match they used him, he considered 3 goals. Well, Africa would always need to stand up and get counted the time it matters the most, so that we just allow ourselves to get maneuvered because of whatever interest we're trying to protect. I'll take that story before we leave the show today. But of course, let's run you through fixtures of games that were decided yesterday. Like I said, big wins for Barcelona, their second game at Camp Nou, and their second win. In fact, they've scored 7 goals now in Camp Nou in the last 2 matches. Wins against Atletico Madrid yesterday was the second time they were playing at the Spotify Camp Nou in almost 3 years after the stadium went under renovation and more an expansion. So there were games decided yesterday, even in English Premier League. What a match we saw at Craven Cottage. Fulham 4, Manchester City 5. So the twist is this: Fulham actually scored 5 goals. But 4 was recorded for them because 1 was an own goal and went to Manchester City. So Manchester City scored 4, but eventually went on with 5 goals. I don't mind me. AFC Bournemouth lost at home to Everton for the very first time in modern Premier League history that Everton was winning away from. Very funny for away at AFC Bournemouth by a goal to nothing. Jack Grealish getting the second goal for his second goal for Everton, and the only goal yesterday off a very wicked deflection for Bournemouth. They lost at home, but for Everton, they've had away win, home loss, away win. I don't know. Maybe they want to be the best travelers so far this season. But big shout out to David Moyes, by the way. I did some amazing stuff. Yesterday, 2 Nigerians were on the score sheet as 3 Nigerians were in action. 3 of them, of course, for Fulham, as we had Calvin Bassey. We had a goal yesterday. But unfortunately for Fulham, they lost that game at home by 4 goals to 5. Imagine scoring 4 goals against Manchester City and still not being able to secure the win. Well, for Pep Guardiola, it was a reality check as they went 5-1 up, and then they conceded 3 goals, and then they almost lost it. If not for I don't know. I don't even want to say it was Donnarumma that was in the form of his life in the last 10. For Samuel Chukwueze, I think it's a good one. Hitting the ground running at the perfect time ahead of the African Cup of Nations. For Alex Iwobi as well, he got a fantastic goal for himself yesterday. It was Fulham 4, Manchester City 5. Newcastle United played a 2-all draw at St. James Park against Nottingham Forest. Well, I mean, luck always have a way to work against you somehow, because Tottenham deserved no point from that game. But at the end of the day, they had to come back twice, and then they were able to pull a 2-all draw for themselves in that particular game. Like I said, Barcelona defeated Atletico Madrid by 3 goals to 1. Atletico Madrid went ahead first, and then Barcelona pulled back, and they actually won that one by 3 goals to 0. Although that victory came at a cost, as Dani Olmo dislocated his shoulder yesterday and has been ruled out for 1 month as he continues. League at 8:30, Arsenal returns to the Emirates Stadium after playing a 1-all at 8:30 at the Emirates Stadium. Brighton at the Amex Stadium will be playing Arsenal's next opponent on Saturday. On a weekend, I think it's on Sunday, which is Aston Villa. So at the Amex Stadium, there's Brighton versus Aston Villa. Also by 8:30 at Turf Moor, Burnley would host high-flying Crystal Palace. Also by 8:30, and of course another game by 8:30 tonight is Wolves, still yet to win a match in the Premier League this season with only 2 draws. That's 2 points. They'll be hosting Nottingham Forest, and it's going to be a very interesting game in that one. I kind of feel that Wolves will eventually get their first win in the Premier League this night. That will be by 8:30 as well. So those 4 games will kick off at the same time. Aston, Brentford, Brighton, Aston Villa, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Wolves, and Nottingham Forest. And of course by 9:15 at Elland Road, Leeds United would hope to return to winning ways after losing their last match, but of course against the world champions Chelsea. Chelsea coming off a very encouraging 1-all draw against Arsenal. I mean encouraging because they played almost 70 minutes of that game with a man down, and the man happened to be one of their most important players, Moses Caicedo. I got red carded after that dangerous tackle on Arsenal midfielder Mikel Merino. But hey, he's going to be missing 3 games, and of course the first of the 3 is tonight at Elland Road. Chelsea will travel to play Leeds United, and tonight by 9:15, big game. Maybe the biggest game because of how big Sunderland have been this season. And they'll be traveling to Anfield to play Liverpool. Don't forget that Liverpool have not covered themselves in glory at Anfield this season, and they've lost 3 matches at home. In fact, they've gone back-to-back 3 new home losses. And of course, tonight they'll play one of the most surprising team of the Premier League this season, Sunderland. And Sunderland came from 2 goals down against Burnley over the weekend to defeat Burnley by 3 goals to 2. Inspired by Granit Xhaka, former Arsenal captain, they'll be going to Anfield tonight to play an inconsistent Liverpool. Liverpool also won their last game against West Ham 2 goals to nothing, with Alexander Isak getting his first goal as a Liverpool player and Cody Gakpo getting the second goal. Mohamed Salah was an unused substitute in that game. I'm sure he's going to be starting tonight. So let's see how Liverpool would continue to build on their confidence as they would host Sunderland tonight. Well, Nigerian Premier League game earlier decided tonight. Rivers United defeated Kano Pillars by 1 goal to nothing, and Shooting Stars Sporting Club of Ibadan 3SC at the Lake Salami Stadium Stadium, defeated Remo Stars, the defending champion, by a goal to nothing. Remo Stars have had only one win in their last 5 Premier League games, defending champions. It doesn't look good tonight. Athletic Club Bilbao by 7 p.m. would also host Real Madrid. That's going to be a very interesting game to look out for. So those are the fixtures of the games to expect to have tonight, and the ones that have been decided. Only 2 games. Those are the 2 games in the Nigerian Premier Football. The Rivers United defeated Kano Pillars by a goal to nothing, and Shooting Stars Sports Club of Ibadan, 3SC, like they always call them, the Oluyole Warriors, defeated Remo Stars by a goal to nothing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's come back to African Cup of Nations as FIFA gives club an extra week before releasing AFCON superstars. Star players such as Mohamed Salah, Brandon Mbeumo, Achraf Hakimi will be able to play for their clubs for an extra 1 week until the 15th of December 2025 before joining their national teams at the African Cup. And Achraf Hakimi's PSG face losing key players up to 5 weeks for the 24-nation tournament in Morocco from the 21st of December to 18th of January 20 by 1 more week. The decision came after fruitful consultation led by FIFA with key stakeholders, and thanks to the spirit of solidarity demonstrated by CAF to reduce the impact of the various parties, according to the statement released by FIFA, referring to the tournament organizer, Confederation of African Football. It was also decided to encourage member associations participating in the 2025 AFCON and club releasing players to engage in good faith bilateral discussion in order to find appropriate individual solutions, according to the statement of FIFA. The competition falls at an awkward moment for the likes of high-flying Sunderland and rock-bottom Wolverhampton Wanderers, who could be without up to 7 players and 5 players respectively. For Liverpool will be at Nori until for Manchester United they will lose Cameroon's Mbeumo, Ivory Coast Amad Diallo, and Morocco fullback Nazrim Azuri. On the other hand, league leaders Arsenal, Chelsea, Leeds will not be affected as they don't have any Nigerian player, African player on their payroll. French and European champions PSG will lose Achraf Hakimi, the reigning African player of the year, but other European giants such as Real Madrid, Barcelona, AC Milan, Juventus will not see any of their players involved. Bayern Munich Senegalese forward striker Nicolas Jackson would be away also for Senegal. Of course, he's on loan from Chelsea. Will be at the tournament, but he will not miss any Bundesliga game as the league will be on winter break from the 22nd of December to the 8th of January. Morocco, Egypt, Algeria, Senegal are amongst the tournament's favorites.
Remember your dream is your only scheme, so keep on pushing. Take nothing less than the supreme best. Do not obey, no mistake.
Of course, with the African Cup of Nations just 19 days away, the Super Eagles coach Érichel has unveiled a massive 54-man provisional list, a release that has stirred more frustration and excitement among the Nigerian fans. The unusually long shortlist comes despite CAF's December 11 deadline for final squad submission, leaving many supporters questioning the timing and the purpose of such a needless extended group. Fans for the kickoff. Of course, the announcement effectively signaled the end of Ahmed Musa's long run with the national team, while also fueling speculations around the availability of injured stars Olaino and Felix Agu. But the loudest reaction online necessary and absolutely disruptive. Waste of time. Just dropped the 23-man squad. Quoted one of the tweets supporting this, and I'll say this without an apology. Other serious countries have released their final 23-man list. South Africa, Morocco, Mali, Egypt, Senegal, Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. They've all released their final 23-man list, and they would open their accounts in 10 days, 8 days time. But the Super Eagles of Nigeria will release a 54-man list. And guess what has happened between the last 24 hours? There's been some unimaginable level of lobbying on social media. So influencers all of a sudden start pushing profile of players that have made the squad, and Nigerians don't even know, oh, he's the highest goal scorer in the league in Azerbaijan, 25 goals, 63 million assists. And I'm like, you guys need to calm down, yeah? You guys need to calm down. You guys need to calm down. We understand this paid PR job that all of you are doing on X and other social media platform right now. But hey, it would be sick for us to have a game on the 23rd of December with the deadline to understand. Okay, in goal is Maduka Okoye, Amas Obasogie, Francis Uzor, Ebenezer Harcourt, Sᴘᴏʀᴜ and Adebayo Adeleke. We're expected to go with 3 goalkeepers. For defenders, there is Felix Agu, who is injured, and there's Zaidu Sanusi, there's William Troost-Ekong. There are rumors that he's called its time with the national team, but he's also still gotten invited, being the captain of the team. And there's also Ajayi Semilogo, there's Bright Osei Salmon, there's Bruno Yemechi, there's Chidozie Awazim, there's Calvin Bassi, there's Olaino, also just recovering from injury. There's Igo Ogbu, there's Ryan Alebioshu, there's Adeleke Adekunle, there's also Emmanuel Michael. For midfielders, we have the standing captain Wilfred Ndidi, there's Rafael Onyedika, there's Santos Uche, Ebenezer Akinson, there's Tochukwu Nandi, there's Usman Mohammed, and there's also Peter Agba, and there's Tom Dele Bashir. Of course, we have the Bashir brothers getting their invite as midfielders for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. For the forwards, we have Ademola Lookman, we have Victor Osimhen, we have Tolu Arokodare, there's Simon Chukwueze, and there's Moses Simon, there's Adams Akon, there's Chidera Ejuke, there's Olakunle Olusegun, there's Sadiq Umar, that's also making a return since the start of the AFCON qualifiers. There is a senior man, Kelechi Iheanacho, playing in the Scottish League for Celtic. There's also Taiwo Awoniyi, the highest goal scorer in the Turkish League. There's Terry Murphy, there's Nathan Taylor, there's Siri Desa, playing for PAOK Salonic in the Greek League. There's also Abdulrasheed Shehu, there's Rafiu Durosimi, there's Ekesin Okore, there's Chisom Oji, there's Philip Otele, there's Ikwemesi Chukwuebukwem, there's also Salim Fago. Your life of stories are from around the world. As reaction had continued to trail the 54-man provisional squad that was released by the manager of the Super Eagles, Eric Chell, just about 7 more days to the deadline of CAF to submit a final list for the African Cup of Nations that kicks off on the 23rd on the 18th rather. On the 21st of December, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will play their first game against Tanzania on the 23rd. Well, the reaction, a tweet from Princess_Temi4 says, your mate have started releasing their final squad list. Just 2 weeks to go, you are still releasing list of 100 players. Interesting right there. A lot of people are continuing to question it. One ex-user says, waste of time, just drop the 23-man list and let's go on from here. The provisional list brings a mix of fresh faces and familiar names as Chelsea prepares to cut the trip down to 27. New colors for Ebenezer Harcourt, Peter Agba, Ebenezer Akinson have attracted comments, while the continued absence of some experienced veterans have caused debates amongst the supporters. Okay, maybe I should take your thoughts. 0913, the African Cup of Nations that kicks off on the 21st of December in Morocco, with the Super Eagles of Nigeria playing their first game on the 23rd against Tanzania. And CAF's deadline for submission of list is on the 11th of December. Today is 3rd of December. So we have give and take maybe 8 days to get it done. That means by next week, Thursday, is the deadline to submit the final list of players that would represent your country at the 35th edition of the African Cup of Nations. But guess what? As usual, the NFF and the manager have decided to, polarize everything, and then people, as the pair recover from injuries, are creating further questions about the defense after the exit of Benjamin Fredericks as well. Remember, Benjamin Fredericks, arguably one of our best players since he came into the Super Eagles into the qualifiers. He's going to be missing African Cup of Nations as he got injured training for his club last week. Heading into a demanding Group C that includes Tunisia, Uganda, and opening day opponent Tanzania on the 23rd of December, Nigeria's AFCON ambition would ultimately depend on Chelsea's ability to trim his oversized list quickly and effectively.
Bite your lip and take the trip. Though there may be wet road ahead and you cannot slip, just move on up. For peace you'll find into the steeple of beautiful people where there's only one kind. So hush not, child.
Hello, my name is Cʀᴜɪ紛 and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
Oh, I know you must have heard this a million times before. But girl, here I am. I wanna say some more. Say some more. It's so amazing how you let me in your life. I'm so glad that when I knocked, you've been open the door to your heart, make I enter. Your love is the purest thing that I ever felt, and being with you is the sweetest dream that I ever dreamt. Take it from me, yeah. With you is where I'd rather be. Oh yeah. And these are just some of the few things I wanna let you know. Climb the highest mountain, I will climb it with you. Baby, believe I'll never let you go, because with you is where I'd rather be. When you took my hand, you took me into the promised land. So girl, I promise I'll be your man, I'll be your man. Every time I go outside and I see the things outside, I always have to close my eyes to visualize. I never have to close my eyes to visualize. It's an extraordinary feeling, make me want to touch the ceiling, make me.
Thank you very much for still staying with us on Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM outside by the legendary Two-Face Idibia. Well, it's been in the news of late for the right or for the wrong reasons, but of course we continue. Lyrics have been sung does not exactly reflect the reality of what we have on ground. But let's get back to sport. As Max Verstappen has said, Zach Brown could call him Chucky after the McLaren chief likened him to a horror movie character amidst his pursuit of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri in a Formula One title that has gone down to the wires. Brown made a remark ahead of last week's Qatar Grand Prix, which Max Verstappen unexpectedly went on to win and set up a three-way showdown in Abu Dhabi this weekend after the McLaren strategy mistake under an earlier safety car cost the drivers. He's like that guy in the horror movie who you think is down and then suddenly is where, and you ask again where. The response when he was asked about Brown's comment after a win last Sunday, we saw him call his deficit to Norris to just 12 points. He says, hey, Zach can call me Chucky. Is that short enough for you? Question Max Verstappen. I don't know. I saw it as well and I thought it was quite funny. Chucky is the death-defying main villain in the Child's Play movie franchise first released in 1988. Asked in the same question whether he thought he's got into McLaren's head, Max Verstappen added, from my side, I just focus on myself. I know when I get into my car, I try to do my best like I guess everyone does. But yeah, that's the only thing I can control right now, and that's the only focus I have. I don't have any focus or control on what happens with McLaren's drivers.
More and more, more and more.
All right, thank you very much for staying with us on Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM outside from Two-Face Idibia as we continue to count down for the opening match of the African Cup of Nations. Guess what? Morocco will be playing the tiny island of Comoros on the on the 21st of December 2025, as the 35th edition of the African Cup of Nations kicks off in Morocco, a city that seems to be on the rise in terms of infrastructure and, of course, success are reflecting on the national team, with the Moroccan having a blast of a World Cup and making it to the semi-final in Qatar, with the under-20 also winning the under-20 World Cup, with the performances of their club size at CAF football. Let's talk about boxing. Our unified heavyweight champion Sᴘᴏ sought permission to make a voluntary defense of the WBC title, and that petition was granted on Wednesday, with former champion Deontay Wilder moving into the WBC top 10. The American is eligible to challenge Usyk for the available belt. Hey, that's gonna be crazy. Alexander Usyk could be permitted to make a voluntary defense of his WBC heavyweight world championship, and that could be against Deontay Wilder. Usyk is undefeated but no longer the undisputed heavyweight world champion after vacating the WBO championship that is held since his 2021 win, and has sought permission to make a voluntary Alexander Usyk, and Deontay Wilder certainly is going to be on the card for that particular fight. Wilder, America's most high-profile heavyweight, held the WBC title from 2015 to 2020, and when he first lost to Tyson Fury, he wasn't able to win back the belt in their third fight, and in recent years has been defeated by both Joseph Parker and Zhilei Zhang. He came back with a win over Tyron Anthony Henderson. Suleiman said Deontay Wilder is ranked number 8 or 9, so is eligible to challenge Alexander Usyk if they wish to do so. Usyk did petition for a voluntary defense, which was granted earlier today as for civil world champion. Lapin said Wilder is a huge name to add to Usyk record. He's one of the most dangerous punchers of his generation, a former world champion and a fighter known throughout the boxing world. Beating a man like that strengthens Usyk's legacy and closes another important chapter in the heavyweight history. This isn't just a fight, it's an event that draws massive attention from fans, the media, the entire industry, and the entire world as well.
Pass the test. Just move on up to a greater day.
Of course, away from boxing, let's take some tennis stories. Earlier in the week, there were rumors about Serena Williams coming back to make a tennis comeback. And of course, she had released a statement to say that, hey, I'm shutting down rumors that I'm making a tennis comeback after she registered with the Sports Drug Testing Body and the International Tennis Integrity Agency, ITIA. And the 23-time Grand Slam champion is considered to be one of the greatest of the game and has not competed since bidding farewell at the 2022 US Open. The 44-year-old said at that time that she did not want to use the word retiring, and instead she said, I'm evolving and I'm moving away from tennis. However, in a social media post on Tuesday, William wrote, "Oh my God, y'all, I'm not coming back. This wildfire is crazy. Athletes who decide to return to testing need to provide information about their time and location and when they are available to give samples. They also need to complete testing for 6 months before they are allowed to return to the competition." Williams' older sister, Venus, returned to tennis in July at the age of 45 after almost 2 years away from the tour, and she also never announced her retirement. At the US Open, Venus became the oldest player to play the singles at the Grand Slam tournament since 1981. Venus, a 7-time major singles champion, has spoken previously about wanting Serena to join her back on tour. They combined claim 14 Grand Slam doubles title as a team. Williams, who played at her final professional tennis match back who played her first professional tennis match back in 1995, admitted the major motivation behind initially calling it quits 3 years ago come her first child, Alexis Olympia, almost 6 years earlier from husband Alexia Ohanian. Williams was in the early stages of pregnancy with Olympia when she won the 2027 Australian Open to move just one Grand Slam singles title behind the all-time record held by Margaret Court. She reached 4 more finals on her return from maternity leave, 2 at Wimbledon, 2 at the US Open, but she was beaten in straight set on each of the 4 occasions. Williams, who won her first major in 1999 at the US Open as a 17-year-old, told Vogue magazine in 2022 when she revealed plans to walk away from tennis I'd be lying if I said I don't want the record. That's, of course, that of Margaret Court. The way I see it, I should have had 30-plus Grand Slams. I had my chances after coming back from giving birth. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I didn't show up the way I should have or could have, but I showed up 23 times, and that is fine, and absolutely that is extraordinary.
Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless.
The last time that I check, now before I digress, my girl, you told me that I'm not your love interest. See, my girl, the last time that I check, see, nothing ain't changed yet. Cold man, may nobody come try cry me a river. I'ma pull through like the strings on my guitar. Nonsense, man. This shoes is so cold, man. May nobody come try cry me a river. I'ma pull through like the strings on my guitar. So cold outside, my brother. I don't want pull no trigger. I just want this, cause I'm going place. I don't want.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. I've taken boxing, tennis, Formula 1, AFCON stories, of course. Let's talk about the English Premier League as Matthias Cunha is expected to return to training and is available for Manchester United's game against West Ham. But Ruben Amorim said 2 unnamed players were major doubt. Matthias Cunha has not featured for United in their last 2 Premier League games against Everton and Crystal Palace following a reported training ground accident, but is in line to return tomorrow. We have 2 doubts for the game. I will not say who today, as we are going to change how we approach the game. Let's see if they can play tomorrow. The rest of the squad is good. Matheus is back, but I have 2 players that may not play, according to the manager. Of course, Harry Maguire and Benjamin Sesko are still out of the Manchester United team.
I don't want pull no trigger. I just want this, cause I'm going place. I don't want no wahala. It's so cold outside, my brother. Me, I know the hate on no brother. Me, I just want this, cause I'm going place. I don't want no wahala. Oh, it's so cold outside.
For Arsenal, their captain is back, Martin Odegaard. I said he's happy to be fully fit and is returning at the appropriate time for the Gunners. The Arsenal captain is pushing for a start against Brentford tonight, having appeared from the bench against Bayern and Chelsea following his return from a knee problem. It feels so great to be back on the pitch, he said in his mind. The feel of playing a game, the feel of the tempo and the atmosphere here at the Emirates Stadium. That's what you miss the most when you're out. To have that feeling on the pitch is very different when you watch. I'm back now and I want to keep doing that. I'm feeling better and better. It's amazing to be back out there, and now I'm just looking forward to playing more games because it's a massive stage of the season and it feels good to understand the fact that the team is ready to go, and I'm also going to be a part of that journey. That is the statement of the captain of Arsenal, Martin Odegaard.
Hush not, child.
And of course, still talking about Arsenal's game tonight, Mikel Arteta came into the press conference loaded with a message he wanted to get across, that this Brentford game is very important and should not be overlooked. 7:30 p.m. we need the Emirates Stadium to be rocking. This is what the Arsenal boss came out with after a North London derby, Champions League game with Bayern, and a London derby against Chelsea. Brentford at home could easily be glossed over, but not at this meticulous. They would assess the team. One would always keep his cards tightly close to his chest when it comes to injuries timeline. After the press conference finished, there was plenty of chatter with the journalists, which are unexpected that, hey, we are having a team and we can actually get the job done. Well, still on Arsenal, Arsenal will face a fine of £25,000 by the FA for accumulating 6 yellow cards in Sunday's 1-1 draw against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, but they will not face any further punishment, according to the statement released earlier today. The FA handbook dictates an automatic fine will be applied to any club that picks 6 yellow cards or equivalent of yellow and red cards in a single game, and that fine can be doubled if a similar breach occurs in the same season. Arsenal Gunners received 6 cautions in February 2024 in a 3-1 victory over Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium.
So keep on pushing.
I'm glad to have you join us on the show today. It's been an interesting edition of Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM as I run you through fixtures of games that you would have the luxury of enjoying tonight across Europe. Early games have been decided already. The Nigerian Premier Football League as Remo Stars lost again. Second game the Barnes they've lost against Shooting Stars Sports Club of Ibadan at the ΛΕΙSᴛ Salami Stadium. 1-0 ended in favor of Shooting Stars, and of course Rivers United defeated strongly Kano Pillars by 1-0. And of course, Spanish La Liga game tonight, a big clash. Athletic Club Bilbao would host Real Madrid by 7 p.m. That game will kick off in about 2 minutes time. Okay, I think I should just take you through the starting 11 of both sides as we already have them presented. Laporte, Adama Brero, there's also Alejandro Rego Mora, there's Alexander Binenko, there's Miguel Jusgiza, there's Nico Williams, there's also Granca Gutierrez, Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, Fado Camavinga also form a midfield trio with Alvaro Fernandez Carrera, Antonio Rudiger, Eder Militao, and Trent Alexander-Arnold in the back four with Thibaut Courtois holding it forth as well. That is the starting 11 of games that we have tonight in the Spanish La Liga. Only one game, like I said, 8.3 FM. Big shout out to you guys for always listening. Let's do this again tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m., same station. Your Super Down Milan 98.3 FM. My name is Okoyemi Akande. They call me the host with the most, and if you're gracious enough, you call me the Sultan of MC. Let's do this again tomorrow. Stay safe as you go out to enjoy some beautiful game of football tonight. Arsenal versus Brentford at the Emirates Stadium.